All right, everybody. It's Editor Yusuf again. Yeah. I didn't have the audio on the second one either, so that's great.
Of course it is.
Yeah, I could use the elevator, right? I'd be afraid that that would break my swords in half. Anyway, for this episode, I got an article that says, get a load of these.
Ooh, a TV studio.
I always thought we'd make a great reality TV show.
Chance White dies at the hands of super sex pot mercenary. Story at 11.
It says, get a load of these 35 facts about Deadpool.
Looks like we rolled a random encounter.
See how many of these I actually knew. 35. When Deadpool was first created, he was remarkably similar to DC's Deathstroke, so much that, as a joke, they named him Wade Wilson. Deathstroke's real name is Slade Wilson. Yeah, I knew that. That one's an easy one.
Break out the heavy firepower. Stop this freak.
Although I've started to like Slade a little bit more, especially with the Judas Contract cartoon and the many times he's tortured Robin. The real question is, which Robin is the one in the in Teen Titans, the TV show? Like, is it the Dick Grayson Robin or is it the Jason Todd Robin?
Bullets. How convenient.
That's a tough one. I think it's Dick Grayson. I'm not sure. Anyway, a simple man.
But you're gonna look better dead.
Says, in fact, that's why his costume was red. He was modeled after Deathstroke, but also because the artists were inspired by Spider-Man, although Deadpool is convinced it's the other way around. He was also conceptualized as a character that would be easy to draw so that the artists could meet their deadlines faster.
Get me a coffee on your way up, huh? I'll be waiting.
I mean, did kind of give him those silly boots like Deathstroke had, but I never understood why those boots became a thing. Do you remember those boots? They're like the Cap Morgan sailor boots where they put them on and they kind of like, instead of going all the way up, they just overlap forward. Damn, I died, didn't I? That sucks. Yeah, you remember those boots? And Deathstroke had them for sure, but Deadpool never did. He had the his problem was he had a whole bunch of those,
Sometimes I let my guns do the talking.
all the little pocket thingies. It don't make any sense. And you want to know what the heck everybody's keeping in those pockets? All the,
You think I'm afraid of a mercenary? I work in television.
the storage things. Like, it makes sense if you just carrying some guns and stuff, but
Moving on.
what in the world do they put on the little leg straps if it isn't guns? Like, bullets? I could see if it's extra clips. You put that around your body and stuff, because then you'd have a quick load thing.
Hey, jerk off.
Anyway.
Get me a coffee on your way up, huh? I'll be waiting.
So speaking of Spider-Man, all the enduring relationships in Marvel of all the enduring relationships in Marvel history, there is none sweeter than Deadpool's undying desire for Spider-Man to be his best friend. Spider-Man isn't quite there yet, but Deadpool is convinced he'll break him down. We're rooting for these two kids.
Smoke.
I wouldn't.
But it'll
I
be
wouldn't
harder
want.
for you to see how awesome I am.
If I was Spider-Man, I'd be like, Deadpool, leave me alone.
All for one and one for Deadpool.
They had a nice Deadpool crossover episode in the what is it called? Ultimate Spider-Man, where Deadpool showed up and he started messing with Spider-Man's fourth wall breaking ability. Because Spider-Man would freeze the thing in the cartoon, and he's all like talking to the person watching, but then Deadpool broke his fourth wall and was standing inside his talk. It was really weird. Like somebody invaded Spider-Man's TED Talk. Anyway. Says people changed. When he was first introduced, Deadpool was first introduced in New Mutants issue 98, he was a villain. And there was no plan to have him become the character he was developed into today. Yeah, because he was Deathstroke. That makes sense. The classic news, bad news. Deadpool got his powers after he joined Weapon X in an attempt to obtain the healing factor that would cure him of his cancer. While the healing factor prevented him from dying, that's good. It also advanced his cancer and left him horribly disfigured. That's bad. That doesn't make any sense.
Piper's a fine example of Mark.
So, cancer just kind of takes over your cells, right? It just implants itself in there, and then it reproduces over and over again, from what I understand. So advancing his cancer would not make his face ugly. It's very weird how that works. You don't know anybody who had cancer who died with an uglier face other than, you know, their cancer attacking something that's really precious to them, like their lungs or something they need to live. But their face doesn't get mauled because of it. It's I think he ended up looking pretty disfigured because of the amount of experiments that he was having. You know, like the radioactivity and stuff like that. The whole the Deadpool comic that I read, he was in a place where everybody's getting experimented on all the damn time. So everyone was getting disfigured, you know, just because. So, yeah. Anyway, the disfigurement of Deadpool in the movie was just like him losing his hair and having bad acne. It wasn't even... He's like, I don't want to talk to my girlfriend because she remembered me when I was hot-ass Ryan Reynolds. And now I'm just like... hot-ass Ryan Reynolds with a skin problem, you know. It was pretty dumb. I mean, I guess on his standards, he's a lot uglier, but I think he would have made it. He would have gotten somebody that was hot. No doubt. Ryan Reynolds is still Ryan Reynolds. He would have made it. Deadpool was named after a betting pool run by a group of failed government subjects, which gave each of them odds of survival. Deadpool's odds were 1,000 to 1. He beat the odds. It really helps when the writers are on your side. That's a cute little clip. But yeah, they called it the Deadpool because it was a pool like in The Office, you know. They all betted on what time people were gonna die. So yeah, he did beat the Deadpool. Unfortunately, everybody didn't. So I think he's like the only one from those experiments other than the Weapon X program. I'm really confused as to what happened after that. But he wasn't part of Weapon X from my recollection before he was part of the program that cured his cancer or whatever. Because he wasn't a weapon then. He was just Wade Wilson, right? But once they cured him, gave him Wolverine's thing, then they gave him the skills to be a badass. I don't know. Although I don't know what exactly he had in exchange to give. Most of the people in Weapon X were already pretty damn lethal, right? What the hell was Wade Wilson? Just a regular guy who survived? He was lucky. I guess that's a superpower, even though Deadpool says it's not. All right, next one. True Patriot Love. It says Deadpool is Canadian and proud of it. He often breaks the fourth wall to mock American readers for never having switched to the metric system. Let's be honest, America deserves it for being such a backwards country. The metric system is clearly better. Yeah, that could have been left out of the list.
Look good on camera, but you're gonna look better dead.
Despite being Canadian, Deadpool's favorite superhero was Captain America. Because both Captain America and Deadpool identify as failed government experiments, Captain America is one of the few Marvel heroes to treat Deadpool with respect. Really? I think Captain America does that because he treats everybody with respect, but that's just me.
So, where do we go from here? Only one way to go. Up.
Intruders on the roof. Send all available units to the rooftop.
Wow, I can see my house from here.
Should we be playing with these things?
Ah, the designer wouldn't have put them here if they weren't supposed to be played with.
Good point.
You know that teleporter is only essential to the plot. Like, you can teleport back and forth using the damn teleporter, but then when you're playing these levels, it's like, well, maybe you can't. So, anyway, Deadpool is one of the few characters to have appeared alongside almost every other Marvel character. Yeah, they gotta try and do the quid pro quo boost there. It's like, oh, Deadpool. I bought a comic book called Deadpool and Cable. And let's be real, man. Deadpool is as attractive as the person who draws him. A lot of times, people who suck that draw Deadpool, they don't really like, their artwork style doesn't convey the comedic timing that Deadpool has. So it kind of stinks. When I first started collecting Deadpool, and when I stopped, it was that McGinnis guy. Uh-oh, stealth kill.
Thanks for playing, chump.
And McGinnis had like this really cool, it was like anime,
Yoink.
buff anime style, you know what I mean? And the lines were really simplistic, so it was really cool. But then after a while, something got worse in the artwork. Like, I couldn't quite define it, but his style was so nice, and then all of a sudden it looked like he was doing the same thing, but it wasn't as good. I could never put my finger on it, but yeah, he did a really good job. He did all the faces and everything, and he was able to bring in, you know, other people that Deadpool had to deal with.
Don't mind me, guys. Just here to steal your multi-million-dollar military-grade whirlybird.
And I don't know. I've picked up a whole bunch of artists that did not a whole bunch, but a few, and they were halfway decent. I won't kill them for that, because I know people that they can't stand art when it's not like Jim Lee or some shit. but they were like, some of them were really overly serious, and it was very difficult to read the humor in their style of art. You know what I mean? Yeah, whatever. Anyway, depending on the story and depending on how Deadpool is written, you kind of want him to be drawn comedically, and sometimes they suck at it. That's my point. All right, Chatterbox. It says Deadpool was given the title "The Merc with the Mouth" because guess what? He won't shut up. In fact, he was defeated more than one enemy, or he has defeated more than one enemy by driving them crazy with his nonstop talking, just like The View. That's not funny. Just like The View, you know, those women who talk a lot, like, you don't have to fight them. Anyway, yeah, that one's an easy one. It's what Spider-Man does. Spider-Man runs his mouth, distracts his people while he's using his spider sense to do most of the work. Before he became Deadpool, I died, didn't I?
Never speak of this.
Before he became Deadpool, Wade Wilson was in love with a prostitute named Vanessa Carlyle. But after he got cancer, he left her, refusing to subject Vanessa to life with a dying man. Deadpool and Vanessa later crossed paths when she became a shape-shifting mutant named Copycat. That was dumb. Now, Deadpool died several times, but the second time he died, 4 false versions of him appeared. each representing a different aspect of his personality. Super heroic. I guess that's the one that just normally talks, like the one that has a regular square speech bubble and says the normal stuff. You know, we could blow away the blah blah blah. Psychopathic, which is probably the one that represents Deadpool all the time, that's running around shooting people. And comedic, that's another one, and that's the other one in his head, I guess. And a version of him that is only capable of saying the phrase "no pickles." I didn't know about the no pickles one, but here's the thing. Maybe we'll look in the game to see if he ever says no pickles. That'd be funny. Well, that'd be something to look for anyway. I didn't know the no pickles. Deadpool can speak 5 different languages, but can say the word chimichangas in 7. Classic Deadpool. Yeah, he already cut that joke in this game. Deadpool has survived quite a few difficult situations, including nuclear blasts and beheadings. Because of his apparent immortality, he often donates his organs to people in need, knowing that they'll immediately regenerate, because that's what you do when your kidneys operate under the same policy as breadsticks at Olive Garden. What I don't like is the fact that the person's trying to cut the jokes. Like, they're not funny. But anyway. Because my jokes are hilarious. Once he donates organs, don't they have the healing power too? Like, does a person get like a forever kidney, or do they just regenerate into the other person's body and then somehow, you know what I mean? Does that make sense? It must suck to be in a world where your kidneys match with Deadpool's, but no one else. Like everybody else is just like, I could use some kidneys, but screw it. Like, you don't get any kidneys because you're on a big list. Deadpool's kidney list is very small. He could be like my wife, and because her blood type is AB, what is it? Negative or whatever. It's the one that takes everything. It's the universal taker. But you can't give it to nobody but other ABs or whatever. That's yeah. That would really suck. Deadpool has been in a number of romantic entanglements, including with the Black Widow, Yelena Belova. But he finally settled down with Shikla, former fiancée of Dracula and Princess of the Underworld. I thought he had a love affair with Death. Whatever. When Deadpool got married, I'm sure that lasted a long time. Only marriages that last long time in comic books are Spider-Man's. Nobody else can be happy. Anyway, when Deadpool got married to Shikla, it was a huge event that saw an entire Marvel universe assemble. In fact, the wedding didn't get to happen on the page until Marvel was able to gather all of the previous writers and artists for Deadpool, who had drawn and written the recurring side characters on the comic, to help make the wedding into the event that it was. Well, that's really nice. I'd be down. I'd just turn around and be like, oh, yeah, sure. I'll be there. Dadpool. He has a daughter named Eleanor. After being seduced by a woman named Carmelita Camacho, he found out about Eleanor after Carmelita was killed and after Eleanor was abducted. He rescued her and then gave her to a friend at S.H.I.E.L.D. to hide the truth of her paternity. See, now that's nice. You don't get to know Deadpool's your dad, even though she probably has the power, right? Did that power pass on, or is she just a normal girl? The only thing Deadpool fears are cows. That's dumb. Deadpool's only weaknesses are kittens and an anti-regenerative ray. Oh, okay. We're running low on running low on actual facts here. One of the most popular fan fiction crossovers are between Deadpool and Harley Quinn. Their insanity has been considered by many to be far better match than that of Harley Quinn and the Jokers. Deadpool is a Star Wars purist and once killed a man because he claimed to be...
Keep it steady, dingus! Jeez, I can fly better than that! Hey, it gives me an idea.
No, wait.
Hell yes! Hey, we're flying! We're flying!
We cannot fly.
Well, it is good to have dreams, though.
Dreams, yes. Delusions?
Yeah! You know what else is good to have? Skills! This might be a good time to buy some upgrades. So buy upgrades.
Alright, so let me change the voice in his head, the second one. That one is the psychopath. And the one that we get to see is the comedic one. I think that's fair enough. Oh, I'm actually stopping to buy things that I can't afford. Because, no, I can afford some, can't I? Get myself a shotgun. They're all like bullet things. Eh, whatever. Good, I stopped it without stopping it. Anyway, because his mental instability makes him a bit of an unreliable narrator, Deadpool's childhood is not as clearly defined as other superheroes. In some versions of the story, his father abandoned him and his mother when he was very young. In other versions, his father was abusive and his mother died of cancer. In all versions, he's a smart aleck. Although in the film, Deadpool has a very straightforward heterosexual relationship, in the comics, his sexuality is more of a question mark. He's had a number of unique partners throughout history, which makes sense given Deadpool is a pretty unique character himself. He's been with shapeshifters, aliens, and the physical representation of the abstract concept of death.
I wonder if we can even carry that gun.
Only one way to find out.
So I kind of skipped through this,
These should come in handy.
but this came in two monsters, right? And the first one I just kind of threw bombs at until he died, and then I left his gun there like an idiot. Then the second one came out, and then I fought him for a long time. And then realized that I had the other guy's gun laying around, so then I went back and got the gun. So I'm saying that because I won't be looking up for another couple of minutes. Actually, let me go ahead and stop reading these things for now. Hopefully you guys didn't get too bored out of that. It says that he's got a different sort of sexuality thing, but it just mentioned that he's had sex with a lot of different species. If they have male and sexual, if they have more of a sexual thing like being male or female, then I don't understand what they're talking about. But I guess, you know, nowadays everybody has to be something other than heterosexual. So. Except for Spider-Man. Good old Spider-Man always gets to be straight, am I right? That's why everybody can still love him until the day they die. So yeah, there's me picking up the gun, and I had to shoot the ground because the bombs are going past him. Anyway, you guys have fun.
But you'll never get to me while I'm in this panic room.
I'd like to test that theory.